this damn paper. Yeah. The FCA, you said I'm dissatisfied with the evidence, yeah?
Well, so if you give me the paragraph number, I've called up the preliminary report.
I have a small handful of things. So if we go to paragraph 1.
Yes.
It says I'm dissatisfied with the evidence. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
I'm saying
Yeah.
So I'm just highlighting the word evidence, yeah.
Mhm.
And then you say FCA is relying on information which they know to be false, yeah.
Yes, that's what you're.
I'm reading what you said, yeah. I'm reading what you said. I said.
That's right. It's what I said. You said exactly so.
And and then you're saying here they publish various unsigned documents, which is we come back to this again, the signature issue. Because I tell you what, I was in court the other day, and a judge had chucked out this information on the basis it wasn't signed in the Central London County Court. So it is important, sir.
Now I understand. That's why I'm going to put a copy in the post to you.
Okay, and the next thing is you're saying here they could have been dealt with by the Information Commissioner, blah blah, yeah?
Yep. This is paragraph 4, isn't it?
Whatever it is, so the other issue is I'm just skimming over it quickly.
Of course.
You're saying here about the repossession of my property and my business records as well, apart from my personal things, yeah?
Yes, there's reference to all of that, yeah.
Yeah, so obviously that's an issue. So, they were leaning very heavily on me that I'm not in control of my business records. So, I'm saying, well, they were stolen. What can I do about it? If somebody took my business, anything from me, they must have a warrant, an inventory, a statutory inventory for the items they took. Bearing in mind, I wasn't the sole owner of the property, and I wasn't the sole occupier, and I wasn't the sole operator of my business. I had various staff members, So we come back now to going to about number 6. We're talking again about the subject access request, repossession, criminal conviction. As you may be aware, or your legal department can confirm, I can't be convicted in my own home for trespass. It's just not possible in law. So it should raise some red flags with you, Mr. Townsend.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, I can't interfere with what the court does because the court.
Mr. Townsend. I'm not saying nothing about court here. I'm telling you, I can't be convicted for trespass in my own home.
Right.
Full stop. And then you made a statement here that the upper tribunal had sight of a valid order of possession issued by the court.
Yeah.
Okay, so you made a statement, so you must have seen it. You must have seen the file or whatever, yeah? I'm sure a gentleman like you wouldn't make false statements.
Yeah, no, that is my understanding of what happened.
Okay,
of course, if you disagree with it, then this is your...
That's fine. I'm just pointing out some of the issues that I flagged up, yeah? I'm not debating the point. I'm just raising it.
No. I understand.
Okay. And then you're talking about the upper tribunal making a decision, yeah? And so I want to clarify what a decision is, because the upper tribunal is a court of record.
Yeah.
And a court of record operates on an order, a valid order issued in compliance with Section 134 of the County Code Act 1984.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And I had that clarified with the Ministry of Justice. They confirmed to me it is a court of record. So they must have a valid order, not an unsigned document published on the internet. It's very, 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 very unfair, if you see where I'm coming from.
Right, yeah.
And then blah, 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 finding of fact, all these kind of things. So what we have here is a number of people, starting off with the people who burgled me and stole my stuff, that there is a court order or court proceedings, and this one take the word of that one, and that one take the word of that one, and that one take the word of that one. So this is a scenario I'm sitting in right now, Mr. Townsend, yeah? Now, there's an issue that you said that the FCA refused to investigate my complaint. Yeah, on number 12, it says here,
That's number 12, yes.
the FCA's decision not to investigate the complaint is correct.
Yep.
Now,
Yep.
It's very funny if somebody done you a wrong, yeah,
Yep.
and you ask the person who done the wrong to conduct an investigation.
Yep. I think I'm following that. Sorry, I'm just.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Double checking. I mean, I think you've made a complaint to the complaints scheme about this matter, so it's a complaint to the FCA about the FCA.
So I'm reading your statement. You said that the FCA made a decision not to investigate my complaint that I made to the FCA.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Because
I don't need the reason. I don't need it. It's okay. I'm just.
Okay. No, fine. Yeah.
So what I want to just point out to you, that if the FCA decides or chooses not to investigate, they don't need to investigate because they already know the facts. But the other problem is, I have a team of private investigators working on the case, and I'm investigating myself. And various other enforcement authorities are also investigating.
Yeah.
So in the line of all this activity, a lot of evidence comes up. So I'm asking you, if I was to provide you with the evidence that the action taken against me by the FCA was incorrect, what would you do?
That would depend what the information was. I think one of the problems we've got here, Mr. Badaloo, is that we're dealing with decisions made in a court.
No.
And
no.
Well, we are.
No.
Because the courts have made certain orders, and I can't interfere with them. So,
Mr. Townsend, yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but what it is, these things are so important. It's better if we deal with one small point at a time.
Yes.
You know, when you say the court has made decisions and orders and whatever, yeah?
Yep.
We are here in a stage of the matter where we're investigating everything.
Yeah.
Everything and anything. Yeah? And we must be able to distinguish what is court proceedings and what is not court proceedings.
Yeah. No, I understand. I understand.
Because I will give you an example. I had a conversation which is on YouTube with the Chartered Insurance Institute, and the lady there, Hirosha, told me for the first 10 minutes of the conversation, she had an order signed by Andrew Bates from the Harrow Crown Court. And by the time we got to 12 minutes, she told me she don't have the order. So she did an investigation and fished up a court order that she's holding dear and taking very serious action against me on. And then she says she doesn't have a court order because she was aware that the document she had purporting to be a court order is not a court order.
Okay.
So,
I mean,
wait there, Mr. Townsend. And in my investigation, she gave me the document and the court gave me a document which doesn't match. And in my investigation, I got a letter from the court that they never issued any order against me. And I got 8 versions, 8, of the one that the CII came up with. 8, all referring to an order which the court says they never issued. So can you see my predicament here, Mr. Townsend?
I can indeed see the predicament there. I think the question then is, if someone is forging or pretending to have a court order, then that becomes quite a serious criminal offence if that's what's happened. Now that wouldn't be something that I could deal with under the complaint scheme. That would be a matter for the police.
Well, it's funny now what the police have done. Yeah? They have, there's 4 people that kind of stole my stuff and threw myself and family 3 or 4 times on the street. I'm losing count now. And they are David Wood, Manoj Gondia, Joseph Papworth, and who is the other one? I can't remember. Kenneth Warby. Somebody in my office knows the name by heart. It's amazing. Kenneth Warby. Now, the police did an investigation similar to what you're doing, and they put it to me in writing, Mr. Townsend. Several things, yeah? They told me that Manoj Gondia and Joseph Papworth, I believe, and the other people are court bailiffs.
Right.
And that they were at my property. They were the owner of my property. And also they came there to evict squatters. So Mr. Gondia was my employee for about 15 to 17 years. He's not a bailiff. But it doesn't end there. I have a letter from the bailiff company that they didn't carry out any eviction. And that Mr. Gondia is not a bailiff. Now, it is not very hard to check if he's a bailiff. I'm surprised what the police is finding, because there's a thing called a certificated bailiff register. So these are the circumstances I'm coming up against, which is you know, I'm sure you're aware in your capacity as an investigator, it's very abusive against me and my family for a large number of professional people in positions of influence and power to be holding me accountable for trespassing in my own home, that my goods were not stolen, and you know, take away my business, my vocation, cutting off all my fees that I built up over 35 years. You know, Mr. Townsend, I have a letter from the head of the Ministry of Justice, Susan Ackland Hood, through my MP, Teresa Villiers, for my partner, Jacqueline Campbell, saying categorically in black and white, Jacqueline Campbell was never the subject of any court proceedings. But she was a joint owner with me, an occupier. of the property. So, you know, on that alone, I could not be a trespasser, sir, and my goods could never be lawfully taken. And where is the you know, it's very hard. I got documents for clients going back 35 years, and a lot of clients, I'm almost like a social worker or a charity worker in my community. People rely on me, and then the things just been taken. So these are the issues I wanted to just run by you before I replied to you, so that, because without that interaction, you know, just black and white is not always. But you know, you made a statement that the upper tribunal was supplied with an order for possession issued by the court from the FCA, and I can assure you that's not correct. So whatever you want to say, Mr. Townsend, I just wanted to give me the evidence of it, so I know, you know, I can counteract. And it's not nice when you get statements based on assumption and presumption, on which so much of this criminality is built.
Yeah. Okay. Well, look, I understand exactly where you're coming from.
Right, sir.
And of course, when you send me your reply,
yeah.
I will look again at all these points very carefully.
Well, I will reply to you in writing, but we've had a conversation. I know you're a very busy man, because the secretary said yesterday you weren't at your desk, or what, you know, I tried to call you. It's very, my time, I got 3 clients sitting here waiting for me. But in the meantime, you know, I'm practicing my trade. There is no justification. There's no, you know, Lord Denning says a void act has no force in law. So that's what I'm going on. But I will write to you a response, sir, and I hope you bear in mind. I'm sure you made notes. If you want, I'll send you a copy of my recording, and I wish you the best, sir.
Okay, not at all, and I will look very carefully at your response when we receive it.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay,
bye.
Bye.